Which wolf are you feeding? This is from a story that I was told by a mentor, and I wanted to share this story with you all today because the moral of it is quite poignant and important to carry with you if you allow yourself to take it away. So the story I want to share with you goes a little something like this, and I'm going to paraphrase it because I don't know the exact story. Essentially, and actually, rather than tell the story, I'll just tell you the parameters of the story because I think it might be easier for you to understand. Have you ever had it that when you're looking to make a decision, you sometimes have two voices in your head? Oftentimes people refer to these as the devil and the angel or any number of things, essentially a good voice and a bad voice. Now, the moral of this story is essentially, which of those voices are you feeding? And it's a whole story about how a grandfather is having this discussion with his grandson, I think, about and essentially saying, listen, son, which wolf do you want to feed? This wolf that is like biting on your heels or the wolf that nourishes you and encourages you. And so I wanted to really highlight that in this video because with everything that we do in life, really and truly, we have the option of listening to, well, number one, listening to any of the voices that we may hear, external to, say, our own internal feelings and what we're choosing to do. And then there's the choice of, do we want to listen to any of those voices at all? And if you do choose to follow that voice, realize that which wolf are you feeding? Here's the point of this story. If this has been a little convoluted until this point, let me explain why I'm talking about this. The older version of me, as you guys may well know, because I've spoken about it in videos where I talk about my anxiety and things like that I've dealt with, is that I used to have an incredibly, and it's still something that I'm working with, the residue of that is still very much there. However, the vast majority is gone. At any rate, I have a very critical inner voice at times. And what's interesting is that when I have panic attacks and panic issues, it often gets even louder. Now, the reason I draw your attention to those which wolf are you feeding thing is that what I was unknowingly choosing a lot of the time, and don't feel bad if you're in this position too, because what I just learned is it's sort of the brain's natural set point. We go into that, whether we like it or not, oftentimes, more often than not, the fight or flight type response. And so it's sort of normal for us to focus on and anticipate at first a negative outcome, thus feeding the bad wolf. However, again, the entire point of me making this video and why I wanted to talk about which wolf are you in fact feeding is that if you decide to change the way that your mind is working. Let's say you've reached a level of awareness where you can now hear the two wolves when they kick up in your mind. Say you have to make a decision. One voice is saying, no, don't do that. Remember when this thing happened and that's not a good idea. And the other voice is saying, go for it. This is a really aligned, for example, this is a really aligned opportunity. Like, please go for it. Which voice are you going to listen to? And my message is that the more I've listened to the good wolf, and good is a relative term, however, the more that I've listened to the positive, encouraging voice in my head, the better things have been. And my ultimate point is this, and I've said this probably before on my channel in many different ways, and will continue to do so. When you have a choice in life between kindness and sorrow, hatred and love and things like that, why would you choose to listen to a voice which is consistently knocking you down? And I invite you very, very strongly from my deepest heart of hearts to embrace the voice that is encouraging you forward. Because the one that talks all of the negativity may always be there and will always be fairly strong. And if you listen to it, unfortunately, like it says in Einstein quote, you will keep receiving the same replay of those not so awesome patterns in your life externally. And my guess is, like anyone else, you don't want to experience those negative things as much as you would like to enjoy your life and have peace and calm and presence, laugh with your loved ones, travel with them, eat delicious foods, things like that. I invite you that in a world of choices, to bring yourself, to raise yourself to a level of awareness where you are conscious of the choices you're making and choosing consciously to listen whenever you are aware to the voice that encourages you, to the voice that says, hey, that would be really, really fun. You should go do that. Or something like that, because that's the voice of your closer to the voice of your higher self that really is urging you on. So you always have a choice, and always remember that which wolf are you feeding? Because at the end of the day, whether we want to accept it or we like it or not, we are choosing which vibration, which voice we're listening to, what we're staying in. So understand that you always have a choice, and that is your superpower in many, many ways. So if this video has helped you, please do share it with anyone you think it may serve. Subscribe, as that does help me very much as a small content creator to get my message out to those people who need to hear it. And last but not least, if you, my beautiful spirit soul, need any support or coaching, please do not hesitate, particularly if it pertains to your health, to reach out here at this email address, where it would be my absolute pleasure to serve and help you. Have a beautiful and a blessed rest of your day or night, and I will see you, gorgeous cats, in the next video. Namaste and much love. Bye. You know, so hey, that would be really, really fun. You should go do that. Whatever. Have you ever had it that when you're looking to make a decision, you sometimes have two voices in your head? The more that I've listened to the positive, encouraging voice in my head, the better things have been. Laugh with your loved ones, travel with them, eat delicious foods, things like that. So understand that you always have a choice, and that is your superpower in many, many ways.